Hello, everyone. Hope you were all having a good day. I'm getting things pulled up for JJ.
Where is your mask?
There we go. All right, we are up and ready. Hope you guys are all having a good day. Oh, hold on. Did everyone have, hi Rob, happy early 4th of July. Who else? Hey Fred, thank you. Happy 4th of July to you guys too. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Do you guys have any big plans, or are you just staying in and self-quarantining? Let me shut the closet. We are at the office today. Yes, thank you, Rob. My birthday is Sunday. Thank you. Hi, Patty. Poolside, no margaritas until tomorrow. Nice, that sounds lovely. We have water. JJ has water over here, and I have a Diet Mountain Dew, of course, on my table over there. So we're not really having any drinks because it's working. We were not on Monday, and we did put a story on our YouTube story. So if you guys don't watch those, you should. We do put stuff on there. But we were actually at Cooper's baseball game, and it ran late, so we were at the field, and so we were not able to go live. So there was no live last Monday. Thank you, Jean. I really appreciate that. Hi, William. So glad that you could join us. So nobody told me of the people that are on. What are your plans for the holiday weekend? Are you doing anything? Or is everybody pretty much staying in? We are not doing anything really for the 4th of July. JJ's going to be working. My son is, thank you, Fred. My son is going to be working. This is actually the first time in, I think we said 12 years. That is what we determined, that my children, my boys are actually home on the 4th of July. They have grandparents in Pennsylvania, and they always have taken them since they were little bitty to Pennsylvania for 2 to 4 weeks in the summer, and this is the first time that they've never taken them. So they have, the boys are home, and my oldest has to work tomorrow. JJ has to work tomorrow, so it'll just be me and Nick, and I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll figure something out. And then we're not doing anything Sunday either. You're working too, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Glad that you could join us. And Richard and 144 Magician, I am so glad that you came on. I saw your comments earlier on the YouTube video, and I told you to come join. JJ will be on in a little bit, and then he will start answering some questions. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. It's gorgeous here. I would turn you guys around so you could see it, but then it just gets dark and everything, but it's pretty crazy. Hi, Stacy. I'm glad that you are working this weekend in the air conditioning. I'm glad for that. And
Do we have drinks?
Ilona, thank you for coming on. Nope, you can just ask the question in the comments. JJ won't answer them when he first gets on, but he'll answer them eventually. He has his drink, some Johnny Walker Blue. And
What's the word of the day today? What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Thanks for being on. We already got questions. People are ready to rock.
Yes, people are ready to rock.
Maria is on. Good to see you. And Jean, I saw the coach come out last night. He did see the coach. Did we post that one? We did. We posted. That's right. I forgot. All right. Oh, I got comments over here. And we got Rob on. Rob and I and Gwen and his team, their team, we we're getting after some hardcore bookkeeping. I need to push this back just a little. And Tony says happy B-Day to Amanda. Hope everybody's had a good week. Our word of the day today is happy birthday, Amanda. So I already said it. This is a little bit of some Johnny Walker Blue, and we're here at the office. Once I charge up here a little bit, I'll walk around with everybody. And we are in full tax season mode for July 15th. And I tell you what, I'm disappointed. I've emailed with a few CPAs maybe that are on with us today about my disappointment with the deadline not being moved, mostly from the standpoint of clients that are gonna owe, that are gonna have penalties. All right, hey, enough about me. Look at all these happy birthdays that we've got here. And so Fred, great to see you. Thank you so much. And Patty B, the almost birthday gal poolside, no margs until tomorrow. We actually were gonna try and do poolside today. I was like, wouldn't it be cool? We could do it from the pool. And Amanda was like, well, we have some time to think about that, because I wasn't thinking through the logistics of it. And let's see, were you guys not on Monday? We were not. Coop, their baseball team, had won, and then you had to go right to the next game. And so we had shifted it to, I think, 5:30. And then there was no way we're going to do the 5:30, and we're like, okay, well, let's take it off. And so you guys should check out our stories. I don't know if you even are aware, but we have stories on YouTube. Not everybody has them available, so we were excited when YouTube let us do it. So we did do a little announcement on our story. They're just 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's just allowed to do a 15-second quick message, and so we had tried to let everybody know. But I think we should kick in. Do you have a little, you're just gonna do the do?
I don't have anything here.
Well, do you just need a cup?
None of that.
Not of this? Well, we got some vodka over there. So happy birthday, Amanda, is our word today. I've already said it twice. So this one does good at wetting the whistle. So
yes, I remember that from beatboxing on Friday.
That's right, doing a little beatboxing. So, this week, and you know what, my nose has been to the grind today. Did Trump sign this extension?
Yeah.
Okay, didn't think so. So Trump hasn't signed this extension. I did a video on it this morning. And the thing is that the senators, I think, were going in a direction that this over 100 billion, some are saying 130 billion left in the Paycheck Protection Program pot, that they were wanting to repurpose it and allow those that already even got PPP that they could go and get more if they needed, which also meant that they were going to have to come up with a new application and new qualifications, and they were talking about there being different qualified expenses, but that is not the case. That did not survive. They may come back around and do something like that. So all this is, and I shouldn't say all it is for those that didn't get the PPP, where you been? You've been asleep? You've been on a different planet? How come you don't have PPP yet? Nonetheless, that's what it's done. It's extended the ability to get the PPP until August 8th. So it is an extension of 5 weeks here. Let's see real quick. I just love to make sure I can catch up with everybody. William McCarthy, happy Friday. Happy early birthday to the professional,
Thank you.
the Amanda. So thank you, Jean. Yes.
You may want to remind everyone, if they didn't watch last night's reality show, that they should to catch the announcement that we made.
Yes, John Hamilton, how are you? Good to see you. Yes, we made an announcement last night. It doesn't involve anybody having a baby, but we made an announcement about our tour. So we'd love it if you go and check out the reality series. We got some nice feedback. Kathy from Washington sent us a sweet email, and of course we got wonderful comments on it. And for those that join us live, we appreciate it. Yes,
And
spoiler
the
alert.
the coach came out.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So bleep, 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 bleep. All right. Hey, and let's see. Safety. Yes, staying safe and healthy. Richard, Dan, what's going on? Aloha. And we've got 144 Magician for PPP, self-employed. What category formula to choose? Well, you want to do the 24-week method. And the reason for that is that you then take line 31 of your Schedule C divided by 12 times 2.5, which is the same calculation to determine how much PPP funds you get. Therefore, you're going to get 100% of forgiveness, assuming that your line 31 of Schedule C is the same both when you got the funds and then when you apply for forgiveness. And the way that, and the big secret, and I've got a video on step by step, so do check it out. I've got a playlist specific to the self-employed for PPP forgiveness. So that's a specific playlist, but I have a video on there step by step. The big thing that you do is in the period, the covered period, list 24 weeks. By doing the 24 weeks, then you get the better calculation of line 31 divided by 12 times 2.5. Yes.
And thank 144 Magician because he had asked some questions on the YouTube videos, and I told him to come to the 4 p.m. live show and ask them.
Awesome.
So he did ask another one, but he's one of our new people to the live show, I believe. So we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started doing live by accident, so to speak, back when PPP was basically first launching. I had so many questions to cover, just trying to be helpful, and I went live only because I didn't have the ability to upload the length of the video I knew it was going to be. So when you go live, it's just then you end the live and then it's just on YouTube. And we had like 400 people at any given time show up. It was several thousand that checked in. And so we were like, wow. And we didn't get through all the questions, and we
used to go 5 days a week.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah,
the first 2 weeks we went 7 days a week. And then we whittled it down to 5 days, then 3.
We were on for like almost 3.5 hours.
No, it was like 6. We did it twice. We went and had dinner, and then we went
right,
back.
Yeah,
okay. So it was like 6 hours.
Yeah, back in the
Just
good
trying
old
to answer.
days.
That's right. Yeah, just trying to answer questions. Cindy, what's going on? Good to see you. Pedal Spin Studio. Cindy and I were connecting, and we are getting close to achieving the major parts of what we set out to do with Imagine That Toys. So you need to check out our reality show related to that. But Pedal Spin Studio is one of the companies that we are working with on the reality show. And here's the thing about the businesses we're working with. Backyard Barbecue, as well as the dance studio, DreamWorks Dance Studio in Massachusetts. These are successful, viable businesses that have been in business for a good period of time. They don't really need any help, so to speak, but when we all got closed down, slammed down to the pavement, every business needs help. And so, long story short, these are some wonderful people that I've had the opportunity to work with. Cindy was the 4th when we really just picked 3. She put together a really neat video, her and her daughter Brooke, and they're out in California. They have 5 locations.
And you hear us. Oops.
The Wi-Fi.
It says Card Shop Reality says buffering. He said he refreshed. Let me refresh. You're back. All's good now, they said. Just refresh the screen.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a
Kinda
terrible,
blur-
terrible
it's
picture.
kinda
Like
blurry, but back.
ridiculous.
We had to go on,
Well, it's the. All right, well, hold tight.
alright, there we go.
That looks better. All right, sorry about that. Make sure when you head out to see Amanda for a 10-cent refund.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that. Okay, I know how to pop out my chat. Look at, I'm learning.
You are learning.
Okay, well, let's get to some questions, but before we do that, we should know that
You have to change it to
the
live.
word of the day is happy birthday,
That's
Amanda.
strong. Thank
Boom.
you.
We've got Glenda on. Great to see everybody. Sorry about that.
Yes, Jean, we got your emailed question.
Okay, perfect. And well, you know what? Here, real quick, because now I'm going to be already behind. Brent, thank you so much. Happy birthday to Amanda. Early 4th. We've got Candace. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. Yes, we missed everybody on Monday too. Coop pitched really well. So we enjoyed that. William and Card Shop Reality. Boom, boom. Mike Fisher. Yes, Mike Fisher, CPA out of California, if it's okay for me to say. Wow, that's a lot of rhyming right there. But Mike and I were both trying to have our voices heard about moving the deadline, and we both are sharing in the same frustration, but just kind of gritting and bearing it and putting in 14-hour days. I had 3 videos that came out today. All of them were videoed after midnight. I finished the last one, I think, at 1:20 a.m., but I was glad to do it. Let's see. And then we've got Dax. What's going on? I know, Friday already. Well, you know what Friday means. It's just 2 more work days until Monday, but we're not working on Sunday because it is Amanda's birthday on Sunday. So we are taking that day off. Let's see. How do you see the YouTube stories? I don't know.
Oh, I put on there. You just have to click the little circle. It's just kind of like Instagram. You just click JJ's profile picture and it'll automatically go to the stories. The YouTube stories stay on for 7 days.
You know, I didn't know that part, so I'm learning. And let's see. Show some love, guys. Give JJ and Amanda some thumbs up. We appreciate that. We got 43 people on, 18 thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. With flying colors, I'm here stuffing my face with a burger from Five Guys and drinking some Swedish cider apple from IKEA. So we wished With Flying Colors' granddaughter her first birthday wishes. Mm-hmm. First birthday.
First birthday.
Yeah, that was precious and really enjoyed it. Was honored to have that. Glenda says happy birthday. Candace, missed the announcement, waiting for you guys. Happy birthday. And let's see, 144, I'm a consultant and coach. If I made all my income in 19 in a 3-4, choose seasonal times 2.5 total. You know, they have not given any guidance on that. And so what I would tell you is that if you made it in a 3 to 4 month period, choose seasonal. Typically that seasonal is for those that have employees. And from my perspective, here's what it comes down to is whatever formula you used to get your loan, then use the same formula for forgiveness. I just think that what they're looking for is consistency, period. So whatever formula you were able to use, and I don't mean, I am not saying you just got to make up a formula, but your bank allowed you to create a calculation that they gave you the loan based on. So given that you have that, now It may be that the SBA comes back. That's what we have to remember. The SBA may come back and say, well, here's the method that you're going to have to use being seasonal. It may be that they say, well, it doesn't matter if you're seasonal or not. So that's one that there, in my opinion, not a clear answer. And you will need to, in my opinion, just do what's best for you. Do the similar calculation, and hopefully that will work. William, happy birthday. You're awesome. Thank you. Question, 2019 filing, if you have more expenses than income, is the IRS red flag, and how do you handle that? So William, now I'm taking that question as not related to PPP, because we all know if you have a loss on your Schedule C, then happy birthday, Amanda. If you have a loss on your Schedule C, you don't qualify for PPP. Here's the answer, no. That's not a red flag, and in fact, it was a long video, and it was probably because I started it a little before 1 a.m., but there's an over 30-minute video where I talk about the July 15th deadline. I talk about flags, and I just don't believe in them. I think there's flags if you are doing things illegal, and they're now having the FBI coordinate with the IRS to then see if anything flags that they can come after you and knock your front door down. I know that I heard when I first started my career and early in my career, and at this point it's got to be urban legend about, well, if you show a loss more than 3 years, it's a hobby and you're not going to be allowed to take the loss. I think what it comes down to is, what is your motivation for profit? I think if you're in the early years of your business, first 5 years, looks like Amanda's getting ready to do something here. But if you're in the first 5 years of your business, but you know, I just tell you this, I've got clients that based on depreciation, you know, it's not that it's huge losses every year, but the short answer is no. I don't think you should have any concern about taking a loss as long as you have the receipts to back it up. At the end of the day, who cares if they ask? So what? Doesn't matter if you have the receipts and you can back it up. Boom, done. But I'll tell you this right now, you know that there's less than a 1% chance of being audited, number one. Number two, they're not going to have time for audits. So all I'm saying is, even if I didn't convince you and you're still worried about a flag, I don't think you're going to get questioned anyways. I don't think they're going to have any time. All I'm saying is do it right. You want me to clear the screen? Okay, you ready for this?
We have some breaking news. This is the Amanda reporting from JJ the CPA's office, and JJ doesn't even know this. I'll take this off so you guys can hear me. If you will make a note to go after the live, don't leave the live, but if you will go to jjthecpa.com, no help, and if you will click the merch tab, the project where I have been collecting all of your pictures is done. So if you guys will go check that out today, we would greatly appreciate it.
And
then if you, I'm sorry.
Nope, you go.
And then if you would like to pick up some merch while you're there, the instructions are there.
Awesome. And here's the interesting part of my websites to make sure you're picking up, is that jjthecpahelp.com is the community service. I don't sell anything on there. And jjthecpa.com is the business website where, you know, it's my services, which right now I'm only just basically taking on the ability to go give speeches and seminars. Our plan is in August to release a way that I can consult with individuals. But at the end of the day, go check out jjthecpa.com. How many of these do you have? Everybody, this is Amanda's book, and since it's her birthday, it only seems logical that we should be giving away one of Amanda's books for some trivia. Because every Friday we do some trivia, and then we give away a gift or two, and we might even throw in a mask. We might even throw in a mask, and we might even just write our names on it.
There you go. You can have a limited edition.
We'll have a limited edition.
The CPA and the Amanda mask.
There you go. So we'll come back to that. But let's see. So William, just as long as you have the expenses, I say go for it. If you get questioned, then have receipts. You wouldn't want to have them anyways. go for it. I'm not afraid of the IRS because they're not afraid of us, and we all have the same rule book. Go to irs.gov. Everything is right there. They're not mean. They're super nice. And at the end of the day, if you deserve a loss, boom, take it. All right. Hey, thank you for that, William. And Glenda, girl boss, late to the party. John, I'm late. Well, no, I said hi to John when he first got on. Spoil alert, the announcement is bleep. That might be our backup word, bleep. You guys, Amanda did great. Richard wants to know when we're going to Maui. Unfortunately, never. Yeah, I know. We've had a few people that have said, you really need to take her to Hawaii. And maybe I just send you. No.
We
I don't want
do
that.
things alone.
Yeah. What you can do is, if anybody's seen the movie The A-Team, where they knock out BA, Bacchus Baratus, something, I don't know. Anyways, they gave him a shot, knocked him out, and then he just woke up wherever they were going.
That's right, Card Shock. I guess if you guys ever see me in Hawaii or Maui, it's because JJ got tired of me and kicked me out.
Not a bad place to end up. Okay, let's see real quick. Boom. Okay, Ilona Rapp. Hey, JJ, have a EIDL and PPP just received within 2 weeks. S-Corp owner with salary and one employee, both on payroll. Nice. I love it. It sounds like you're doing everything correctly. And if you got the loan, that's great because you can use it for overhead expenses. There's no time frame for it. If you have PPP, then use the PPP funds first, which is kind of just first in, first out. And if you got the grant, then that'll reduce down your PPP. So I'll go to Maui with Amanda, Glenda said. Glenda's going to partner up with you.
Okay.
And so Gene says, you didn't mention on the Easy app video for self-employed, should we document the EIDL advance amount? Well, let me look really quick here because if it's asking for it, the short answer is yes. And yes, Gene, I think I may have skipped over it quickly just from the standpoint of in that example that I was doing, I didn't put in the amount, and you do want to put in the amount and the application number, but the SBA will be the one that actually reduces down the amount of forgiveness. So you do disclose it, but there's actually nowhere to calculate it, which I think is kind of weird, but SBA nonetheless is supposed to take care of that. So, well, it looks like restore chat. I am back to blurry. Can everybody hear me okay though? It's kind of disappointing. We're supposed to have this big high-powered fiber optic new internet 3 weeks ago. So I don't know what the deal is. Do you want to go ask Alona if the internet's? Here's what we're gonna do. Here we go. Maybe let's see if we'll go around the office. All right, so we're gonna travel around the office. We're gonna check on, because I refuse to be live and be all blurry. All right, so, okay. They hear me fine. Alona, say hi to America. This is Alona.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so Alona, the internet doesn't seem to be sending a clear signal. Do you know are you having issues with the internet?
She's hardwired in.
Oh, you're hardwired in, okay. All right, well, maybe just moving around will help. And let me see if it did. It looks like it did. All right, so good.
Did it?
Does it look good? Oh, they turned the fountain off. What in the world? It's only 4:30. Is it a good picture? Does it look
Turn it
clear?
around to you. John Jasper wants to know if he gets CPE for watching this.
Oh my gosh, you know what? I need to do that, but okay, good. Is it just me that it doesn't look good on?
No, because it was. Yeah, it's a little blurry. I mean, it's better than you were, but it's still.
All right, that's just embarrassing and ridiculous. And maybe if it's right here. All right, let's see where the questions are. Pop out chat. So
You just talk.
okay, just talk. Oh, we got blue line tax on. Let's see. Someone had a question. Was I done answering it? Okay. Oh, Gene. I guess I gotta change this to live chat. All right. Back again.
Sorry,
Wow.
guys.
Yeah, I'm behind.
I'm just taking you for a ride over here.
Boy, it's not even any better.
It's not.
No.
I'm gonna fix it.
Okay.
If y'all get motion sickness, I'm sorry. Everybody should have a drink. Happy birthday to me.
Thank you, 144 Magician. You guys are salt of the earth. Okay, well, I guess I'm been popped down. Good old, yes, back to the good old days. How do we hire you? William, I appreciate that. We are, now I look like I'm sitting at the kiddie table.
Is that better?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. All
You
right.
look like you had my chair.
Okay, yeah, it's, all right. All right, they hear me fine. They hear me fine. It's like this is a 1970s video here. William, I am going to be. When are we? You tell them. When are we going to release where people can hire me and do the consulting?
Oh, we're going to be doing that really soon. I'm in the process. I actually did some more work on that today, but we were in the process of setting up some things to where you guys will be able to. It's not necessarily a coaching program, but it's going to be something to where you can kind of have JJ as a consultant, because he can't be your CPA, and that's something that we really want to make clear, because he is not a licensed CPA in your state. He is only licensed in the state of Oklahoma, so he can only technically work tax stuff with Oklahoma, but he can be a consultant for you. And so, long story short, stay tuned for that, because I am working on that. We are going to be releasing it where it would be something that you would have to pay for, and that you would get a lot of stuff with it. So that's coming down the pike soon, because that's what JJ says. He doesn't say the pipe. It's coming down the pike, like a turnpike, right?
I guess I do. This is true. Yeah, and then I am working with a firm that does do, they're not a big firm, but they do work throughout the country if people are needing some tax services. So I appreciate that, William. Can I raise my own W-2 salaries on EIDL since I can't take distributions until I pay back 44K? You know, on that, if it's a reasonable raise that would be kind of an annual raise, I think it would be fine. There's no real official answer. I know that the SBA indicated that it can pay salary to you. It can't pay you back a loan or pay distributions, just as you had mentioned. But I don't think the spirit of the deal is, and I don't think this is what you're asking, but I don't think the spirit of the deal is that you then could just, give yourself a $100,000 raise to be able to pull the dollars out, and that wouldn't be smart anyways, because when you pay yourself more payroll, you pay payroll tax on that. But I want you to think of this: if you are having your overhead, your operating expenses covered by EIDL, then you are building up a cash reserve from the sales or the revenue that's coming in the door, right? I mean, there's really no expenses to offset your revenue to the extent that you're getting EIDL to cover your overhead. So it's like you bring in 10 grand next month. Well, depending on your EIDL amount, whatever your expenses are for the month, EIDL is covering, and therefore that 10 grand should just fall right to your pocket, so to speak. So it is okay to pull distributions and pay yourself back out of the money that is yours. And let's see. Weiner Loberson, have you watched Shorties? Watch Shorties on Comedy Central on TV or on your phone. Have you watched Shorties? I don't think I have. I'm not sure what that is. And let's see. I'm going to pop down Dax. And okay, this is everybody telling I'm back. And then we've got Rap saying happy birthday. Let's see, another question. Oh, thank you, Rap. I'm grateful for the time and expertise you've shared with all of us small business owners floundering in the dark. Is there a current way I can set up paid consult? Oh, so someone else was asking. Well, I really appreciate that. And let's see, William, for the 2019 filing season, if you have more expensive, all right, I better skip down. We've kind of, Len Jansen, hope you're doing well. Is there any guidance on the forgivability of a S-Corp employee owners for an entity formed on 1/1/20? You know, they have it. They keep promising it. But what I would probably say is whatever calculations you use to get the loan, just use those same calculations for forgiveness, given that we don't have any guidelines. And from the perspective of the the entity being formed on 1/1/20, you do qualify. And my understanding originally, when you look at the CARES Act, back in the initial part of this, is that you were basically looking at your first 2 months divided by 2, boom, there's your, or first 2 months divided by 2 times 2.5, and that was the amount. So I would, in essence, just indicate that you're going to do those same amounts for your owner-employee wages. And if you really look at it, the 24-week method basically puts you on the same track as the calculation to get the PPP funds. Well, hey, so how many thumbs up do we got?
We have 24, and we have 58 people on. So if you guys could please give us a thumbs up, we would greatly appreciate that.
See, I'm bashful. I don't want to ask.
Oh, you
So
don't
see,
wanna ask, but
you're
we do
supposed to
hope
be
that-
the one.
We do hope that everyone on, and we are 100% sure that you are, but that you are subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, thank you for your subscription. We're over 32,000.
I know. Well, we're at
We're at
32,300.
32,300. Nice.
Yeah.
And let's see, oh, it's Zahara's birthday, and everyone please check out Imagine That Toys. Yes, they are amazing, especially as you say. And let's see, no booby traps on the jjthecpahelp.com. That's funny that, I don't know why I say that, it's just from my childhood, I guess.
Oh,
You know,
I think it's
no,
adorable.
no booby traps.
Oh.
That mark would probably, to some people, it's like, why is he talking about that? John Jasper, cheers, happy birthday, Amanda.
Thank you, guys.
We want to wish you your 31st. You're finally admitting that you're 30. You're not working backwards. Finally 31.
Yep, all day long. Is that
With
strong?
And you have a 19-year-old daughter.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yes.
Let's see, Monica Lamb. Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I'm still saying my hellos. My gosh, we're like 38 minutes into this. All right, I'll go quick. JN Productions 2000 and Tony and Glenda. And let's see, Nancy H. How are you? Great to see you. Blue Line Tax and Accounting. Ready for the weekend. Absolutely. 2 more days to work. And let's see. Okay, just listening to you. Sense in the Pool, Patty B. And let's see. Upgrade your Wi-Fi equipment. We just got it upgrade.
Yeah.
Like fiber optic came out and like redid it. It's like the best that you could possibly get. We'll see. I don't know. In fact, I was, our service provider is Cox Communications, good people, but they featured me in a commercial 5 years ago, so you'd think I'd get a little extra internet.
You would think so.
So I don't know what to say about that. Sorry about it. And let's see. Nancy H, and I guess I better let you take over here. We got Titan and Jeremiah, and let's see, John Jasper and Marissa. How are you? Good to see you. And Stacy, I say pipe like pipeline. You know, when my son's pitching, I bring out my stepdad, which is just my dad, but he would always say when I was pitching, just, throw it right down the pipe. Throw it right down the pipe. So I know pipe,
Right.
right? Just throw it right down the middle, right? Just right down the pipe now. That's what he would say. Just right down the pipe now. But then for whatever reason, when I'm doing speeches and talking,
You
I
say
say pike.
I had never heard of pike until I met you.
Coming down the pike.
Yeah.
Coming down the pike. It's pipe. I just say pike.
Well, there's all the other ones that do.
All right, the water's beautiful. What city are you in? We are in Oklahoma City. Thank you for that, JN Productions 2000. Let's see. Oh, Nancy H, I'm hoping to be back in New York. Fingers crossed. It's been months.
It has.
It's been months. And we've got Karen. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday to Amanda and happy holiday. Yes, and we got Shane B. Do you interpret the CPA agent fee as maximum since law says may not exceed? So on 100K PPP, can the bank agent be paid less than, or can the bank pay agent less than 1K? Yeah, the banks were really just, are you kidding me? I mean, they got their 5% and we did all the work and I'm having a little fun, but here's what the banks did. Let's see, here's your paperwork. And it was someone probably making, I don't know, $15 an hour. And the banker went and had a cup of coffee and then came back in and said, you done yet? And we're like, oh, we're almost done. And then they gave out a $100,000 PPP loan, which was like an ATM machine. And they were like, $5,000 for me, $5,000 ATM fee. And then they're like, what? No, we're not going to send you any money. CPAs and attorneys that just send us all the work and got us all the work and just put together this whole manual and here's all the work. No, we're not giving you 1%. What are you talking about? They don't have to pay you anything. It does state in the SBA guidelines that the only one that is able to pay you anything is the bank, and it has to be determined up front. And I don't know of anywhere where they're required to do it. In fact, I know they're not. And the banks are, in essence, really with this PPP, they've just been able to sit back and cross their legs. As much as they've said they've worked hard, I'm not doubting it, but what they've worked hard on is just processing applications, picking up 5%. They're not out digging ditches for America. So from my perspective, they should be generous with it. They're not. Now, we know that there are probably certain banks out there that have been lovely with it and very generous and probably calling CPAs and saying, hey, thanks for the referral. Would you like 1%? But there's nothing that requires it, and I don't think that they're required to even do the 1%. So if you're getting some, I'm glad that you are, because I actually don't know of anybody that is. Shane B, do you interpret? So thank you for that. I was just going to read that question again. Stacy Fuller, no, we got wrapped. In 24 weeks PPP loan period, can I use EIDL to pay owner salary after PPP funds are spent? Yes, absolutely. And John Jasper, tax season in July, that's a first, absolutely. And I'm not liking it. I've not been able to spend much time at the pool at all. Stacy Fuller, PPP forgiveness client, was Schedule C, no employee 2019, converted 1099, CONT, 2 employees January 2020. Received PPP based on 2019. 31, can I do forgiveness app only using line 31, or do I have to include the employees? So PPP forgiveness, client was Schedule C, no employees, converted I see, converted the 1099, 2 employees in 2020. My understanding on that, I don't think there's any clear guidance on that. So basically what we're talking about here is a set of circumstances where someone got PPP funds. It was based on 2019 Schedule C, but then in January they've got employees. My understanding is that it would be based on what you got the loan for, the formula, so to speak, as well. So if they got the loan and at the top, they're checking sole proprietor, they didn't also check anything related to employees, obviously, then when they submit, it would really just be based on line 31. That needs to be the same as what's filed with the IRS. But here's the thing, I don't know that you couldn't include, but at the same time with the sole proprietor, the forgiveness 24-week option is the same calculation for forgiveness is the same as getting the loan. So you probably wouldn't need to include it. But I'm telling you right now, if you have somebody in those circumstances, maybe they're needing to somehow substantiate more expenses, I'm not sure why. The spirit of PPP was to pay employees. And so I would probably just check with your bank. You could include it, but I think the safest bet is just line 31 for 2019 divided by 12 times 2.5, because that should have been what the loan was based on as well. Let's see. Yes, affect Schedule C deduction for 2020, tax-free for Schedule C sole prop. Absolutely, Stacy. And that would be the thing is if they were using the PPP forgiveness to cover wages, then those wages are not going to be deductible. The same as if a self-employed chose the 8-week option and they then included utilities and rent that the business paid for business rent, business utilities, they're not going to be able to deduct, or those expenses are going to be reduced. But for the sole proprietor that has line 31 divided by 12 times 2.5, and their forgiveness is that, they're just getting the money. There is no consequence. There is no reduction in expenses. There's no tax consequence at all, which is great. And it should be, because it is just based on their net after all of their expenses. Let's see. Gonna watch this later blow up after the crappy office Wi-Fi. Well, I look better now.
Do? Yeah, it's slowly starting to get better.
Okay,
I
well,
just hid it from you so you wouldn't see it and get all irritated.
Okay, well, I'm looking right here. I look okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do something funny with that?
I haven't done anything.
Do I look funny on yours?
Yeah, I don't just, no, now you're fixed.
Okay.
I just had to refresh.
It just took CSR to say. Okay, let's see. Karen says happy birthday.
Thank you.
And let's see. Boy, it popped me. All right. We have some emails, I understand, that we need to get to. Are we ready for those? I do see a few questions. We'll come back to those. But Jean had an email.
You answered it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Iro says, I was looking at the easy form for forgiveness and saw this line. Line 8, forgiveness amount, enter the smallest lines 5, 6, and 7. Seems the PPP is not forgiven for the whole amount. My payroll for the 24 weeks will be more than the amount of the PPP loan.
So you're taking the lesser of those numbers, which the lesser of those numbers would be the loan. So if you're looking at the 5, 6, and 7, which is on the EZ app, so you go with those three figures. Line 8 is the smallest of those lines. So if your payroll cost, line 5, is higher than your PPP, and then of course your payroll cost divided by 60%, if you've got plenty of payroll, that's going to be higher. Then you put in your PPP loan amount. Then line 8 is the smaller of, which would be the loan amount. Boom, would be then 100% forgiveness on that, which is phenomenal. Did we nail it there, Gene? I want to make sure that we understood the question here. I see one question here that I'll pop in right quick. From JN Productions 2000, I was approved for EIDL for $3,300 only with no 1,000 grant. How do I ask for a higher loan amount? I don't even know how they're coming up with determining how much you are able to get. So with that being said, there is no way to go and ask for more. It's all been one program, as in you can apply one time. And so unfortunately, I don't know of a way that you're able to do that. However, you can go to your bank. You can go to an SBA lender. It's not going to be part of the EIDL, but it can be that a bank will work with you on getting funds that the SBA could kind of stand behind. Do we have another one? Another email?
This is from Azad. Hi JJ, I love your videos. Keep up the great work. I have a question regarding the EIDL. I got approved for $150,000 and I have a pretty good understanding of what I can use it on. My business address and my home address are the same, and I use my home for business, so I plan on paying the monthly rent with it. I understand I can't use it on fixed assets like paying a down payment for a house, but if I use if I use my own money to buy a home and move my business there, can I use my money to then pay the new monthly mortgage payments? Example, in August, I buy a new home with all of my own money, and then in September, I use the loan to make my new monthly mortgage as I move my business to my new home.
So great question. And from the perspective of how you're able to use the EIDL, if that home was owned by your business and the same business that got the EIDL, the answer is yes, because an EIDL is able to even make loan payments. However, if you have a personal residence and it's not owned by the business, of course it wouldn't be, then unfortunately the answer is no. And I understand that there's some gray out there, and if you're listening to anybody on YouTube telling you that you can use your home office for any kind of forgiveness calculations or paying personal utilities or a personal mortgage, they're wrong. The SBA has made it extremely clear, especially on the PPP side, that those that have that are working from home, they don't have rent, they don't have utilities, they don't have interest. So you have to remember that when you're looking at a home office deduction with the IRS, that doesn't have a darn thing to do with the SBA. And I know that there are those that are incorrectly interpreting that, well, if you deducted on your return in 2019, well, then you can include it in the forgiveness. Well, that's true, but only rent and utilities. And if you read clearly in the SBA guidelines, it has to be in the business name. It can't just be, I'm using it for business when it comes to business loans. Now, it does indicate that if you're using your vehicle for business, that you could use the gas receipts, but why now? It doesn't even matter at this point, because we are in a situation where the loan forgiveness is the same as the calculation. Well, hey, we got a little discrepancy here. You know, we're giving out good, valuable information. Love it that you're here. The discrepancy is we have 77 people on, 37 thumbs up.
Yes.
Hey, it's not that much to ask to just thumbs up on it. I really appreciate it. Quick question we have in here. Let's see, we bought both of your books today. Looking forward to reading them by the pool after tax season.
Yeah, Blue Line did that.
Blue Line, yes. Thank you so much for that. We have Blue Line shirt. We need to pop that out.
We do.
Yeah, we've got a number of shirts. We need to start just wearing them.
We need to just hang them in your closet.
That's what we need to do. Yeah, we have a lot.
We do.
We do. All right, another happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And we got Dax. Okay, I give you thumbs up for digging ditches for America comment. That has been a pet peeve of mine since this started, no doubt. And let's see. Oh, we got Barb Walden. Hi, thank you for the info. I'm going to go ahead and apply for the PPP. What bank do I send the application to? Really, if you want the easiest time, in my opinion, I can't guarantee it, but it would be to go to a smaller bank, a credit union. And how do you know typically that it's a smaller bank is when you Google it, they got like 2 or 3 locations because they have money set aside special for them, as well as the credit unions. And then I have heard conflicting stories about your online lenders that don't have a physical location and you're logging in and filling out info, meaning I've heard some people are like, wow, that was simple and I got everything taken care of. And then I've heard others say it was a disaster and it was months and months and months. So I'm a little old fashioned. I would say go to where you can talk to the banker. And I know that some banks have some really snazzy ways that you can log in and all that good stuff. And, you know, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think there's maybe more, this is just me, but I would feel more comfortable talking with somebody. Here's my documents. Even if they say, hey, we'll go enter it, if something goes wrong, I've got someone that can help me. So I don't have a specific bank to tell you because every single one of the banks, there's been an awesome story and there's been a not so awesome. But I'll tell you the ones that seem to really be working for the small business owner, the self-employed, is the smaller banks and the credit unions. And I think part of it is those fees to them are much more appreciated than just some manager that's hired 5 extra people to go and run apps through them. You're going to be talking with, you know, Jesse and Sally, and they're going to be, you know, probably at that bank for a long time, and they're going to be excited to see you and give you a cookie when you're done, right? That's how it was when I went. I mean, first bank I was with was People's Bank in Mount Lake Terrace, and we got cookies on Friday.
Gosh, we got popcorn.
And Beverly was my first banker. Beverly helped me open my account.
You just amaze me.
And my mom told me how to work with the little check register, and I had checks. And I guess back then they didn't care because I'm sure my mom was on the account, but they had my name on those checks. I mean, this is back in the 80s, you know, before regulations that came into play.
Before I was born.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, almost. Almost. You got another question there?
My name is Roselle, watching your YouTube channel. Thank you for helping all of us. Thank you for your education. It is so helpful. So I have a question for you. Can you tell me please, can I use my workers 1099 form as forgiveness for PPP? My workers do not want to switch to W-2. I have a trucking business LLC. Company drivers use 1099 form. If not, is it okay to hire a new employee with W-2, and is it okay to use my diesel fuel expenses for forgiveness instead of gas? Thank you, JJ, the CPA. You guys are doing an incredible job for so many people.
Well, thank you for that. Well, I totally get it. In the industry, it does make sense for fellow truck drivers of yours to be 1099. You know, they're not 1099 employees, but to be 1099, you know, contractors. And the biggest benefit to those that are in that line of work is that when they get a 1099, then they're able to write off the expenses against that income that they're getting. So that's customary. As it relates to then using the 1099s for forgiveness, unfortunately, the answer is no. Hiring an employee, the answer is yes. And for the fuel that you're using, the answer is yes. You would be able to use PPP funds for that. But I would say check out the PPP EZ application, because at this point, you're able to take line 31 of your Schedule C divided by 12 times 2.5, which is the same deduction, or I'm sorry, the same calculation as when you got the loan, so you should be good there. But anyways, thanks for everything you and your crew is doing and keeping America going. You don't ever hear about those that are on the front lines like our truck drivers that are out and about keeping the world turning. So we appreciate you and your service. We've got 45 thumbs up. Wonder if we'll hit 50. If you're on, hit a thumbs up.
Tony would like to know if you can say happy birthday, Amanda, because he's kind of thirsty.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Happy birthday, Amanda. If you don't know this, but on Fridays we have happy hour Q&A And so anyways, we usually pick we pick a word of the day, and our wonderful group of friends that are on all the time with us came up with that idea probably at this point a couple of months ago that we needed to have a word of the day, and we ended up doing a happy hour. We were just going to do it one time, and I don't recall. We put Robert of Philadelphia Salons sent us $300 worth of food, which was so awesome. We've gotten so many just generous gifts, and we had it all laid out in the kitchen, and we were showing all the T-shirts that we gave away when we had them, and we had drinks.
That was our first happy
I
hour.
know, but what there was something going on that made us do that.
We were celebrating the gifts and stuff, I thought. No? I don't know. Maybe we just decided we needed one, or we were celebrating something because something happened that week.
Yeah, something happened that week. Anyways,
It must have done with
so we love you. Thank you for putting together a happy hour for us.
I tried.
Happy birthday, Amanda. Oh, we got 51 thumbs up. Thank you.
Guys. This is from Karen with a C. And the question is, a non-owner employee salary limited to $15,385 beyond the 8-week period. Appreciate your help. I just bought your T-shirt. The design is great. Now that question email was on 6/15, but we're answering it today. So
Yeah, well, and it's a good question, and the answer is it did increase because you get to include now up to 24 weeks, and so it's 20,833 per employee, and we have the same limitation on owner employees. The owner employees that are in an S Corp, the wages should be including health insurance, so you don't get health insurance in addition to the wage as an owner employee, because health insurance is to be included in the wages that then is included in the calculation. But for S Corp owner employees, you do get to include the retirement benefits that are paid, but that is all based on what was done for 2019. And then as it relates to those that are C Corp owners and pay themselves wages, the wages do not include health insurance benefits. So with a C Corp, the owner employee gets to include their wages up to $20,833 plus the health benefits paid by the business plus the retirement plan. For those that are partners and for those that are self-employed, you don't get to include, I know it's unfair, you don't get to include your health benefits and you don't get to include your retirement, but after the Flexibility Act, none of that really matters for the self-employed, for the partners, because your forgiveness calculation is the same as the calculation to get your PPP funds. So you're just getting full forgiveness on that. So, and then with the 24 weeks, I mean, the PPP loan was to cover 2 months of wages plus some overhead expenses. So now you have 24 weeks. That's 3 times as long. And I did do a video talking about, well, what expenses do you want to include? And if I'm including expenses, I'm going to start with rent and utilities and get the forgiveness of that first, because any wages that are included in the calculation, I don't get to include those wages in the QBI calculation. So anyways, let's see what, go ahead. And I wanted to hit a couple of things here.
We're done with emails. John Jaspers says, did you ever discuss local and state grant money overlapping with the PPP loans?
Oh, yeah. I did see something about that. I never have, because the states are so different in what it is that's available, how it's determined, what it can be used for. Oklahoma had a grant that came out, and the grant was based on your gross receipts from March through May of this year compared to 3 different prior periods to see if there was more than a 25% reduction in the amount of gross receipts. and then the grant in Oklahoma is for whatever you want other than, refinancing. And so I've got some clients that are getting the grant. They've already used the PPP, so I would just be treating it the same as the EIDL grant or the EIDG, which is that it wouldn't reduce down the forgiveness, but you would want to use your PPP funds and then use up that grant, just that you're not using them technically at the same time. And I don't think you need to apply for forgiveness to then start spending any grants. So I don't know that the states would ever interfere with PPP in the sense of, well, if you got PPP, you don't qualify for this, but maybe. So I haven't, just because every state is so different, but hopefully that helps there.
Titan says, quick question, 8 weeks of PPP ended last week. Is it possible to apply for PUA now as self-employed?
Yes, go do it. Go get it. And, just in the state that you're in, they may ask you about PUA, they may not. So I already know you will. I'm not saying that you won't, but, just answer all the questions the way that they're answered and get the PUA. If you need it, get it. And then, hang on, so Rap says, does SBA control my ability to distribute profits to myself because my loan is less than $25K, since it essentially come from new assets? Yes, they have total control over it in the sense of it being a requirement, and it doesn't matter if it's the EIDG or the EIDL or what dollar amount it is, you are not able to distribute profits with it. But hopefully as other monies are coming in, you don't then have to be using your sales, your income, to cover overhead expenses. So that money that's coming in the door, you should be able to then just use that to then distribute monies to yourself. So hopefully that helps. We've got 4 to go to get to 60 thumbs up, so we
Yes.
appreciate that. What else have I got? What else have we got?
I just wanted to say happy birthday to Jeremiah, because apparently we share the same birthday. So happy birthday to Jeremiah.
Happy birthday, Jeremiah. So, Amanda, thanks to many of you that have already picked up Amanda's book, Be a Potato. It is not a cookbook. It is taking into account that potatoes are used for many things where many other vegetables are not. Potatoes are used for making vodka, potato chips, French fries, right? So how do you be a potato? Boom, that's what she talks about. And specifically, she gives an account of a true story, which is her first 90 days on social media, and how she absolutely hit it out of the park. So Amanda is going to sign it. She signed mine. That's mine. She will sign it and send it to you, plus potato guns. Boom.
Yes. Boom.
Yes.
A signed mask.
We're going to give away 2 different things.
Oh, sorry.
No. I was just thinking that. So, what's our trivia question? Oh, you don't have one yet? I thought you had one.
No.
Well, we'll come back to it. You think of a trivia question. Let's see, Nancy H. She had a question. New York gave me PUA, never asked about PPP, and I figured it's okay since PPP is a loan. Yep, and guess what else too, Nancy H. Great to hear from you, by the way, but it's not income. I mean, I did some videos on this recently, which is this: it's not income. So if the state's asking about it, they may interpret it in a way that it's going to reduce down your benefits. So answer those questions. But PPP is not income. I mean, it's in the statute. It's not. And it is a loan until determined to be forgiven. Let's see.
Blue Line Tax says, can an independent contractor collect PUA during the PPP 24 week?
I say yes. Happy birthday, Amanda.
Thank you.
Here's if you just want my pure opinion on it, because that's all it is, and it's worth the air that's coming out of my mouth right now, in the sense that I don't have any authority over it, of course. But here would be my thought process: is PPP was to last 8 weeks. So at worst, there would be an interpretation that for 8 weeks you possibly wouldn't get PUA. So I don't think at all, by you electing the 24-week option, that now that disallows you from getting PUA for 24 weeks. I don't think there'd be one state that would interpret it differently, but I think that you would want to just, when you're going through and you're applying, obviously you will, but just answer all the questions, and then that'll really be your answer there. On 144 Magician, JJ, I wonder how long it takes to get the EIDL approved loan. I'll tell you this, I've heard some that's like 24 to 48 hours. I've heard some that they applied long ago and then they out of the blue got approved. So I will tell you this, the SBA is working very hard. I think they're doing a wonderful job, and it seems like they're being fast acting. So I hope that you hear something soon, and then once it's approved and you accept, and they double check some things. And I'll tell you this, I know of individuals, clients that really have, they do not have good credit. And they just don't. They can't get a loan otherwise, and they got an SBA. So I really don't think a credit's an issue there. But nonetheless, they're looking at whether or not you have a federal, probably, lien or defaulted on a federal loan or something to that effect. But once you say, yeah, I want that amount, then they seem to do a double check, and then you sign some paperwork. And then my understanding is that, within about 24 to 48 hours, the money's deposited into your account. Diane B's got a question, which is, are they still asking for proof that PPP was offered to employees and they decided to take PUA instead? Yeah, absolutely. They are. Even in the Flexibility Act, it references it and that you need it. The Flexibility Act just makes it super clear that as long as you have it in writing, you're good to go. And know this, for some, it's more just you can do what's called a silent rejection, which you would send a letter or an email and you would say something to the effect of, my understanding is that you are not going to come back to work. I just want to let you know I accept your resignation. If I have misunderstood anything or you're planning to come back, I need to know by 5 p.m. today, or whatever the due date is, so to speak. And then if they don't reply, you got a silent rejection, which is, I gave you a deadline, you didn't tell me, so your silence was my answer. So you do still want to have that, and I think that the banks potentially, maybe they'll forget to ask, but the SBA may want some of that documentation. So we're 2 away from 60 thumbs up. Just helps with our algorithm. Not that much to ask.
Do you want me to do the trivia or ask?
Oh, you got the trivia? I see that we have a couple other questions, but let's do some trivia.
Right.
What is our trivia question?
Okay, how many videos has JJ released in the past 7 days?
Oh, wow. Okay, you have the count?
Yep,
Now, 7 days including today?
including today.
So that'd be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yep. Keep going.
Keep going.
Sarah K.
Sarah K nails it, huh?
21 videos last week were released. So,
Wow, I thought I was kind of running light. That's
no, 21
21
videos.
videos. Okay. Dax, okay, we got.
Congratulations, Sarah K. So send us your email and you will
yes.
get an autographed copy of Be a Potato from me.
I love it. I love it. I love it that you said autographed, because up until now we've just said, oh, we'll just, we'll put a note in there.
Oh, no, it's autographed.
Yeah, it's
Right.
autographed. I love it. Okay. All right. So, what time we got here? 5:15.
Yeah.
And let's see.
All right. see you.
Shane B says, one day, please do a vid on your watch collection.
Yes.
Very
He
kind.
should. He has some
Very
gorgeous
kind.
watches.
You bet, Stacy, John Jasper. Where's the drinks, JJ and the Amanda? Little Johnny Walker Blue. Okay, we don't mess around here. Johnny Walker Blue. I think when you go into a restaurant or a bar, I think it's like a $50 a shot. You know, probably whatever they can get away with of Johnny Walker Blue right here. So, all right, the word of the day is happy birthday, Amanda.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Amanda.
All right. So our next question is from. Sorry guys, it just flopped down on me. So, Diana B, are they still asking for proof that PPP money was offered to employees and they decided to take oh, you just answered that question.
Yeah, we got one from Barb. Thank you for the info. I'm going to go ahead and apply for PPP. Wow, man, we've got messed up. We already answered Barb's question.
Well,
Thank you for that.
You went through the thing earlier and answered a lot of questions. So
Okay. Let's see. We've got
answered Nancy's.
we've got Mawizzer King and Mark Gaming. I got one grant for 10, and SBA sent my EIDL not approved. What can I do now? They got it on May 10th. SBA sent me EIDL not approved. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. So I would just talk with the banks and see maybe there's an SBA lender that would be able to help you there. I don't know of any way that you're able to reapply for the EIDL at this time. Hopefully you were able to maybe qualify for the PPP. All right, we got a Long Island iced tea on the house, John Jasper says.
J.A. Law says, hello, I got the EIDL loan and was offered $120,000. I only accepted $25,000 and got the funding today. Now I'm telling myself I should have accepted more. How do I go back and get the additional $25,000?
Get a hold of the SBA immediately. Give them a call. Have your loan number. You can just tell them you made an error or whatever the case is. I have told people that, for whatever you qualify for, maybe just see it as a cushion. There's no prepayment penalties and a cushion in the sense of being able to cover overhead on that. So there's no procedure to it. Hopefully they will reconsider, but I would do it right away, of course, just while it's fresh. And let's see.
Elizabeth says, can I use my EIDL grant for maintenance repair for my car? I'm a gig worker, independent contractor. I need to repair the serpentine belt, spark plugs, lower arm control, that kind of repair.
I'm going to say yes, because that's a wear and tear maintenance. And I'm not saying it with a wink wink. I'm just saying that based on being a gig worker, you're not buying a new car. You're not lifting your truck an extra 4 inches. You're not putting in a new stereo system. Now, if it was a clunker in the sense of hasn't run in 5 years, got to put a new motor in it, that would be beyond a repair that wouldn't be considered maintenance. So all that you mentioned there seems to be that it would fall under maintenance, which would be an ongoing expense. Annette Benson, CPA, is in the house. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you. She says, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And let's see, 144 is asking if anybody can make a recommendation. I don't want to make a recommendation, but if anybody here had a good experience, they might let 144 Magician know.
EAC says, if one is allowed to ask questions, what tax preparation software program do you like best? Lacert, UltraTax, CCH Pro Systems FX, ?
Well, I love it. So I used Lacert tax software when I came out of school in 1993 with the firm I was at. And then when I moved up to Oklahoma City, I came from Dallas. I continued to work with Lacert, and then when I started my own practice, In 1997, I went with Lacerte, and I stayed with Lacerte, and it got up to I was spending about $17,000 to $18,000 a year for this tax software, with all the little bit of add-ons. And so, anyways, it took me a number of years to think about, do I want to switch? I was so comfortable with Lacerte. And I switched to a company that when they first came out, I was like, you haven't been out long enough. Well, they've been out the longest. And I had read that they have wonderful customer service, which was true. So anyways, I switched to Drake. And for last tax season, it was my first tax season. It was pretty decent with the rollover of the information from Lacerte into Drake. There were some little caveats that, if someone had some foreign tax credit carryover, some of the obscure carryovers, we did need to make sure that hit, the depreciation went over. The only limitation that I really see with Drake is that with the oil and gas, you go in and do your own calculations for depletion and if there's any AMT adjustments. But I just have clients that get royalties, maybe some working interest. And so I get everything now, every state. I have clients that may have to file in a few different states. Every state, and I get every version from individual to partnership to S to C to trust to gift. $1,400. 1,400 down from, depending on the year, $15,000, $16,000, $17,000. Yeah, and it's I've been really happy with Drake, and we use their cloud system, so to speak. So we log into a cloud, and Drake is right there, so I can access it from anywhere. It doesn't have to be loaded up on every single computer. We just have to have internet access, which also makes it safe. So yeah, awesome. Who asked that one?
I don't know, EA something.
Oh, okay, cool.
Barbara says you may, I think you answered it. You have to file your EIDL grant on your tax return.
Oh, no, I didn't. So the answer is no. The grant, you don't have to pay back. Now the grant, if you get the grant, you're supposed to use it for business expenses. So kind of weird, you don't get to write those expenses off. If you're self-employed, it would just be you don't include those expenses, and or what I would be doing with clients that got the grant is I would be showing all their expenses on Schedule C, and then in the other deductions, I would be showing a negative deduction. And so when I say no, you don't have to show it as income, but you do have to show it as a reduction of your expenses on that. So
Mike Fisher says that ProSystems FX Tax is the Jaguar of tax software, and
awesome.
He has been using that one for 30 years.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Yeah.
Charlene says, can I skip paying a quarterly payroll for Q2 to continue unemployment through 8/1, then run payroll for Q3 and Q4 and qualify for full forgiveness in 24 weeks? 60,000 annual payroll paid quarterly.
With that, I'm gonna probably say you need to use up your PPP first. There's not really any provision where you get to control when you're using those funds and not using those funds. I hate to say it, I don't think I know you don't have ill intent, but it's not really the spirit of the deal. The spirit of the deal is you've been given, money's been given for PPP, you use it for PPP. When that's been exhausted, then you're able to use the PUA. So there's no real answer to that other than just an opinion, and that'd be mine, is that the spirit of the deal is not to save the money to pay later, it's to pay during the close of business and the pandemic that we're going through on that. I do see one here though that I want to make sure. My loan not approved. I call SBA. He say I need to go to a lawyer. Well, I don't know what the lawyer's going to do if the SBA doesn't approve you. If you've been discriminated against or something to that effect, sorry that happened. Maybe you'd be able to visit with an attorney, or if you have an attorney and it's related to some other issue. But I've not come across any of that. So if they gave you the advice to do it, I wouldn't know of any attorneys that would be able to help with that. Maybe one that specializes with Social Security because they work with the government. But
Yeah, or
they're
they
not,
could
they're
bring-
they're
or
two
they-
different programs there.
Yeah, so.
And
that-
then,
that is all of it.
Let's see, we've got one more here. Where, dang it, where are we? You Bet JN Productions 2000, and I keep looking at it, and then it's, let's see, Glenda, you can file reconsideration letter to ask for a higher amount. Oh, okay. Glenda's saying we can file a letter. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
She said that you have up to a year to ask. for-
okay, now are you talking about on the EIDL or on the PPP? Because I know on the PPP, if you didn't calculate it correctly, just because of all the panic, you can reapply basically to say, hey, I didn't get the right amount because there was a panic going on. And then on the EIDL, you're saying that you have about a year? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
All
She
right,
said-
thanks, Glenda.
She said EIDL,
Okay, and then I saw Carol is on.
yes.
Carol is always in the comments helping to answer questions, so we really appreciate her. Dave, all small credit unions will become obsolete very soon. Well, as long as they're around to get the PPP, hopefully that's not the case. I've got some good friends. William, thank you for getting our book.
And
And
I just wanted to thank you guys for coming on a holiday weekend.
yes,
We really appreciate that, so thank you for being here.
let's see. Did we answer Barb's on the, I was loaned 6,000 by the EID. I was expecting 10, so I applied for 6, got 1,000 months later after the loan. Okay. You were loaned 6,000, you were expecting the 10 grant when you applied for the 6, but you got the 1,000. Yeah, so Barb, it's 1,000 per employee. So that's probably what happened there. And let's see, Matt H. No, just Matt. Got my PPP loan based on my Schedule C. However, I found a bit more deduction, so it turns out I got about 500 more in PPP loan than I should have. Tell the SBA now, or, well, you know, what you're going to hand in with your forgiveness application is Schedule C, and you'll just do the calculation. It'll just be Schedule C. You take your line 31 divided by 12 on your forgiveness app, put the 24-week period, and it'll come up with the dollar amount, and then you'll have your loan amount, and then you're going to pick the lesser of, and it'll be that calculation that's 500 less, and then I think you're good. It does seem from the SBA, when they came out with their additional guidelines, they actually indicated that if you applied and just got the incorrect amount, that you just fill out the loan forgiveness application, and whatever the actual forgiveness is compared to your loan, then you just pay it back. So it doesn't sound like there's any negative repercussions, or that you would need to tell them anything specifically right now. It would just be disclosed. And then see, Stacy Fuller, what are your thoughts on Schedule C pay themselves using EIDL? You know, the thing with that, Stacy, is that when you have a Schedule C, in the eyes of basically the law, there is no separation of you from your business. I know that there could be some arguments made with somebody that owns a single member LLC, but when you have a Schedule C, there is no distinction between you and your business. Now, you may have made a distinction based on a DBA and, you know, the business that you have and separate bank accounts. I'm just saying behind the scenes and legally. So the short answer is no on that, because in essence, when you're self-employed, you make money off your net income. That's it. EIDL's to cover ongoing expenses. And when you're self-employed, an ongoing expense is not any monies to you. So unfortunately, no. But as I'd indicated earlier, if you've got money coming in and you've got the EIDL to cover overhead expenses, then you're in a situation where that income is just fully available to you to do what you would like, and hopefully that'll help with that.
Nat says, I understood the SBA Treasury were going to drop a bunch of FAQs on today on PPP clarifications, but nothing yet. They usually drop stuff on Fridays, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I saw someone was talking about this, that, you know, oh, it'll be a great 4th of July weekend, and then they realized that July 3rd fell on a Friday, and most likely the SBA was going to drop. Let's see. Yes, Matt B, get a $500 check. When the loan, can I submit that? Yes, I think that'd just be the easiest way to go. Here's the thing though, my understanding the procedures, and you'll just have to see how your bank does it, but you put in the loan forgiveness application, they approve it, they let you know, then they send it to SBA approves it, and then you would pay the $500.
Annette, this is what it says. They just released this, and it says the Treasury Department and Small Business Administration appear unlikely to release information on hundreds of thousands of PPP loans this week as planned. A setback in the Trump administration's promise to be transparent about one of the largest economic stimulus packages ever created by a federal government. So it just says that it doesn't look like they are going to release that, and they don't expect the data to be released before Monday.
Talking about the names.
No, these FAQs that she's talking about that they were supposed to release. They
Yeah.
didn't say anything about the names.
Okay.
Make sure that you guys have given us a thumbs up if you were here. We would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, what this is talking about is they're supposed to release information on hundreds of thousands of paycheck protection loans. So they're talking about disclosing who got them.
Gotcha.
I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, why are we doing that? Like, that's just crap. Like, people got a loan. Why is it's not public information? It shouldn't be.
Right.
It's not anybody's business. It's a low threshold of what names they're disclosing. I think it's going to lead to a lot of fraud. I think it's going to lead to people taking advantage of small business owners by pretending to either be U.S. Treasury agents and or the bank, or indicating that, oh, well, you didn't get your loan right, now you owe us money. I'm not happy about the names being disclosed. I think it is ridiculous that anybody, like, why do we care? I don't get it. And if you don't have anything better to do than to go through the hundreds of thousands of names in a catalog of who got the PPP funds, I don't know. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on in your life that's what you want to do, other than someone that just wants to cause problems and trouble?
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Terry.
Okay, so what's another trivia question? So here's what we're gonna do. Gold pin. This is just silly, and it's silly because happy birthday, Amanda. This might be my third shot. That's not a big deal, but
How many?
But whew, that's just.
How many
That was
people?
strong.
Y'all guys ready? How many people signed the Declaration of Independence when it was signed? When it was first signed?
Which way does this go? No, sorry. People are answering. How many?
Those people are
Do you know?
Googling it.
Do
I
you know?
I
Okay.
do know.
Okay.
How many people signed the Declaration of Independence when it was first signed?
Rob said all of them.
Yeah.
We're sending Rob a mask.
We're testing.
We're
Oh,
sending-
Andrew Zapp. That's right. 56. Andrew
Holy
Zapp.
moly.
You were the first one to answer. So if you will send us an email with your address, you will get an autographed Giga the CPA mask.
Oh my gosh. And we're going to send one to Rob because that was the best answer ever. All of them.
Yeah.
How many people signed it? All of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. This is just funny that I'm doing this. But it's just like, that's why I'm doing it, because it's just funny.
We're just gonna have to get on the train and get a JJ, the CPA, and the Amanda mask made. We can sell them.
All right, JJ, the CPA, going out to...
That's going out to, Andrew.
Andrew. I love it. Let's see. Did we answer all the questions?
We answered all of the questions. We really appreciate you guys. I know that some of you guys have already said goodbye because you had to get off, so we appreciate you spending your day with us. I get the luxury of going to the grocery store after we get done with this, so yippee for me. Say a little prayer because I'm going on a Friday before the 4th of July after 5 p.m. So anyways, I'm gonna need that drink after I get done.
The Rob. Not the Rob of
Okay.
Imagine That Toys.
Andrew, email JJ at jjthecpahelp.com. I'll also put it in the thing. So,
All right, well.
and
Let's-
Diana, thank you so much. She just got her potato book.
Aw, well, thank you so much for that. I really, really, really appreciate it. All right, well, I guess we probably should let everybody get to their weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate you all. You make it fun. I've been looking forward to basically just seeing everybody today, all day. I was up early, but I was like, you know what? It's Friday, and we get to check in with our friends.
That's right.
Your legs are cold
I'm freezing.
and blue.
I know.
Yes, we need to go jump in the pool. All right, well, 144. Thanks for all the
On
questions.
Sunday. Thank you, Mike.
And Stacy and Dave.
Oh, and thank you, Glenda, for coming on. Yes, I am a risk taker. And thank you, Rob and Jean, for being here.
You're just supposed to do one name at a time. And then I go name, then you go name, and then I go
Okay.
name. We're supposed to get our rhythm down.
Okay.
We're just having fun.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, so I want to say goodbye to Jean. And I'm going to say goodbye to Rob. And I'm going to say goodbye to Glenda
Okay.
and Carol.
Okay.
Anyways, we started talking over each other. We came up with this little rhythm
Yes.
that we're supposed to do. But anyways, Matt, thank you for being on with us.
Richard, thank you for being on with us.
And Tony, always love having you on.
John, the CPA, have a great weekend.
John, the CPA, have a great weekend. I love it.
Dax, so glad that you're here. Thanks for coming on.
And let's see, John Jasper and Sarah Kay. Look at that, I snuck in an extra one.
Yes, Will, he loved your book.
Well, thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Lachey, 520. SBA told me if your credit score is low, you can't get an EIDL grant or loan. Well, must be then super, super low, because I know some that got it and they were really low. They can't even get a loan otherwise.
Mm-hmm. With Flying Colors, we love you too. Have a great weekend.
With Flying Colors gets a goodbye from both of us. Have a great weekend.
Patty B, have a good weekend.
Patty B, have a great weekend. Happy birthday, Amanda.
Thank you. JN Productions, it was really awesome to have you on. Appreciate you being here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's see, Ilona Rapp.
Yes, and Stacy, thank you so much for the birthday wishes, and you have a happy 4th of July too.
And Elizabeth, thank you so much and great questions. And J.A. Law.
Lachey, thank you for being on.
Absolutely, I saw that, Lachey. We got Lachey. Thank you. Yes, and Kathy, how are you? Hopefully, Kathy has made connection with Backyard Barbecue. Hopefully, they connect soon.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Andrew, thank you for being on, and congratulations on getting a limited edition JJ the CPA mask.
Conspiracy Cats wants to know why things weigh more underwater.
Yeah.
And then we got Barbara Jones. Do you file your EIDL grant on the taxes? Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, we got Clay. Great to see you, Clay. Have a great weekend. Boy, I'm just behind, aren't I? Mike Fisher, have a great weekend. We really appreciate you.
Kathy, she said soon. And John, the CPA, why is the lettering in your book so big? It helps my eyes, though. I'm not complaining.
It was a way for us to win a contest. That's what it was. I can tell you that right now. Terry D wants to know if we've got the audible versions of our books coming. That we need to figure out how to do that. That'd be a lot of fun.
We figure out, and this is how you do it. You have to sit, and we have to record you reading your books.
Okay. Well, they were talking about you too, though. Yeah. And we got John, CPA, Dax, Kathy, Carol, Will, Tony, Patty B, and Andrew. Thank you so much. JJ, why is the lettering in your book so big? You already read it. All right. We better roll. We better rock. You all have a great weekend. And enjoy the 4th of July. Enjoy your family. Things are closing down. There's a number of things that are closing further down as we get into next week. And so be safe out there. Terry D, happy 4th. We appreciate that. And we'll talk to you all soon. Much love. You can come say goodbye. This is the last time you'll see Amanda at whatever age she is. Because when you see her next time, she's going to be a year older.
Whole year.
A whole year.
Oh my gosh.
Whole year older.
Thank you guys. We love you all and appreciate you.
Yes, and yeah, have a great. Thank you for that, John and Karen. Look at that, just CPA's on, just such an honor.
I know,
really
it's
appreciate
awesome.
that. All right, Rob, have a great weekend. Happy 4th to you. Terry D, safe. Blue Line, thank you. And Glenda, happy 4th. I emailed you a photo of Leah in her 4th of July outfit.
And I emailed you back. I will show JJ. It's absolutely adorable.
And our friend who prints our t-shirts has Leah's ready.
That's right.
Yeah, so we just got to go pick it up. All right, you stay safe and well as well. Annette, Mike Fisher, not getting older, always getting better.
That's
just
right, like fine
wine. All right, Maria, safe 4th, absolutely. Frederick, not Frederick. What am I doing? It's Fred. And let's see, happy birthday again. Have a great weekend.
Thank
Glenda.
you.
All right. I think we're off to Hawaii.
Bye, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
We appreciate every single one of you. Oh, and don't forget to go to jjthecpa.com and just click the merch tab to see the project. Bye, guys.
Bye.